Today we will be making our very own DIY Lush Scenic Bar. If you love Lush products but want to save some money, or you just like crafting your own products, then this video is for you. It took me a few trials to get a bar that was hard enough and working as beautifully as Lush is, but eventually I got there. Let's start making this bar by preparing phase A. In a heat-proof beaker, add in the sodium cocoa sulfate in needle form or bead form like I had in this video. The Scenic Shampoo Bar is a pretty simple formula composed mainly of sodium cocoa sulfate. If you're a bit alarmed about sodium cocoa sulfate because you've heard many times sulfates are bad, then let me reassure you, sodium cocoa sulfate does not have to be stripping if formulated properly. Also, in my previous shampoo bar video, I explained why sodium cocoa sulfate is different from other sulfates, and that difference makes it milder. So overall, there's nothing to worry about this ingredient. Unlike other alternatives like sodium cocoyl isothianate, sodium cocoa sulfate is approved by natural certifications like Cosmos because it is made in a more eco-friendly way. The star ingredient of this Lush bar is Irish sea moss gel. Because Irish moss contains a high amount of complex polysaccharides like carrageenan, it creates a protective film on the hair, keeping it moisturized and smooth. When wet, the gum will swell and give the bar this wonderful gel-like texture. At first, I was a little bit confused at what kind of gel they were using. Was it a glycerin-based extract, or was it a ready-made gel like can be found at a Lexmo called oligogeline? Then I realized it is probably much more simple than that. I think they are probably using a carrageenan gum powder, which they then rehydrated during production process. Carrageenan is in fact also made from red algae, like the Irish sea moss. For the blue color, Lush uses color 42090, which is a synthetic blue color made from petroleum. So unfortunately it's not natural, but I use the blue pigment called ultramarine along with some blue mica, which are both Cosmos approved. And I think it worked wonderfully. The final color will be a bit less bright, but I don't really mind that. This is our phase A done. Now we can place this in our bain-marie to heat gently, because we do not want to risk burning our ingredients. So make sure to place your beaker in a water bath like I've shown on this channel before. While phase A is heating, we can prepare our phase B. The water will help activate the carrageenan powder and make the bar more malleable. The citric acid is also important to help bring the pH of the hair down, since sodium cocoa sulfate has quite a high pH for the hair, so adding it will make sure that our bar has a final pH between 4.5 and 5.5. Lush have also added sea salt in this bar for probably several reasons. 1, it could increase volume to the hair. 2, it fits perfectly with the sea theme. And thirdly, perhaps a more functional aspect is to help lower the bar's water activity, meaning that by adding a small amount of water, the salt will attract the free water, making it less available. This is important because excess available water could enable microbes to grow. You can check that phase A is done by checking the temperature. If it is at around 60 degrees, you can remove it from the heat. Add in phase B, mix it around, and you should notice that the dough is absorbing all the new moisture. I recommend to transfer the dough into a wide bowl and massaging it with gloves. When the dough has cooled down a bit, we can add our heat-sensitive ingredients like our preservative and fragrance oils. I will also add a secondary surfactant. Lush also uses a secondary surfactant called sodium cocoa amphoacetate to boost the foam of the product. Since I could not find it, I simply used cocamidopropylbutane. The fragrance Lush added is a bit mysterious because we do not know exactly the composition of this ingredient, but I will assume that there is also a preservative in this blend. I'm using the natural preservative BioGuard 221. This is just an extra precaution to make sure that there will be no mold in our bar. Alongside that, we have Sicilian lemon oil, mimosa, orange flower and jasmine absolutes, and hydroxycitronellol. I could not find absolutes or hydroxycitronellol for this project, so I will simply use a lemon essential oil, which I paired with ylang ylang. I love the combo, I think it works so well together. I find that lemon pairs really well with the seaweed theme. I think adding some jasmine and orange essential oils would also be quite lovely. I find that the fragrance oil also really helps make the dough less sticky by creating a little seal and locking in the moisture ingredients. Continue massaging the dough to make sure that the ingredients are well incorporated, and now we can move on to our final touch. It wouldn't really be a seaweed shampoo bar without actual seaweed in there, right? I simply found nori seaweed in a health food store, so that was easy and it looks great in the final product. Put the dough in your desired mold. You could also press this, but it is not necessary. I just put it in my silicone mold and pressed it down with a glass jar like so. This is actually quite important to make sure that the bar remains compact throughout its use, which will prevent it from disintegrating over time. Let the bar harden for at least 24 hours. The longer you wait, the better, as it will really have time to dry out. I like to wait 3 to 5 days. The final pH of the bar is perfect for our hair. To use it, you could lather it in your hands for a few seconds and use the lather in your hair, or you could also rub the bar directly into the hair, but I prefer using the first method to control better how much product I'm using and make sure I'm not using too much. It's also really important that the bar dries properly between uses, so place it on a loofah or well-aerated soap dish. I personally like my shampoos to cleanse my hair properly, and I just feel like adding oils, butters, or cationic conditioners just does not lead to my hair feeling cleansed. To condition my hair, I would rather just use a really good conditioning cream as a second step. However, if you are prone to really dry hair, then maybe my first shampoo bar formulation will be better suited for you because it contains more hydrating ingredients and a little bit less sodium cocoa sulfate. So give these two a try and do let me know which one you prefer. Also, if you're looking to make more hair care products, why not check out my video about making professional shampoos. Thank you so much and see you soon!